Stage Manager is about attention, not grouping windows or a flawed design. Stage Manager has been around for quite a while now, yet I still rarely hear people explain what it was actually designed to do. That's why I decided to make this video. When Stage Manager debuted on the iPad, many people saw it as a limitation of the interface instead of the design philosophy behind it. Even today, I often see it described as little more than a window grouping feature. I think that's a shame, because Apple's goal was never simply to let you group windows. It was to keep your current work front and center while reducing visual clutter, making everything else immediately accessible when you need it. Whether you end up liking Stage Manager or not is entirely up to you. Everyone has their own workflow, but I believe it's much easier to judge it once you understand what it's actually trying to accomplish. To me, it's the most elegant approach to window management available today. Grouping windows is just one feature, not the purpose. The real purpose is to reduce visual noise so your attention naturally stays on the task you're performing, while every other window remains immediately accessible. In a way, it resembles the Japanese concept of the idea that empty space isn't wasted space. It gives meaning and emphasis to what remains. Stage Manager creates that same kind of visual clarity by removing distractions without removing your windows. To understand why, there's one concept that's more important than anything else. When Stage Manager is enabled, the windows on the left are not minimized. They're still open. They're still running. They're still on your desktop. The only thing that changes is how they're presented visually. Your current task moves to center stage. The other visible windows remain on stage, just out of the spotlight. And if you open more windows than Stage Manager can display at once, the extras briefly move into the wings. They haven't been minimized or closed. They're simply waiting off stage until there's room for them to reappear. Once you understand that, something else becomes obvious. Even without Stage Manager, you can only interact with one window at a time. If another window is behind it, you click it. Now it has focus. Stage Manager doesn't change this behavior. Instead of clicking a partially hidden window somewhere on your desktop, you click the window on the left. It's still just one click. But what if your current task really does require multiple windows to share center stage? One reason many people struggle with Stage Manager is the feeling that every important window needs to stay center stage all the time. It doesn't. Most of the time, only the window you're actively working with deserves center stage. The others are still on stage, just out of the spotlight, and always just one click away. Only when your task calls for multiple windows to appear in the same scene do they need to share center stage, creating a single visual composition. Whether you're writing while reading documentation, taking notes from several sources, comparing multiple documents, or keeping a chat, a browser, and an editor open together, those windows can simply share center stage. Bringing another window to center stage is just as simple. Drag it from the left onto the stage whenever it deserves a place in the spotlight. When its role is over, drag it back toward the left side, and it steps out of the spotlight. There's one situation that tends to confuse new Stage Manager users. Suppose the window you need isn't visible anymore. It's already in the wings. Many people try to bring it back directly, only to realize that the current window leaves center stage. The key is not to fight Stage Manager, but to flow with it. In a way, this reminds me of the Chinese concept of Wu Wei, the idea of effortless action. It doesn't mean doing nothing. It means acting in harmony with the natural flow of a system. When there is a true connection between the person and the tool, actions become almost effortless. The same idea applies here. Instead of trying to make Stage Manager behave like another window management system, you allow yourself to work with the way it was designed. If the window you need is not visible, simply click its application in the dock. If there are multiple windows from that application, this is where App Exposé becomes useful. Not the general exposé that shows every window from every application, because that would simply recreate the clutter we are trying to avoid. Instead, use the application's own exposé. Simply press and hold on the application's icon in the dock until the menu appears, then choose Show All Windows. This reveals only the windows belonging to that application, making it easy to find the one you need. Select the window you want. Your previous window is now waiting on the left, still on stage. Simply drag it back to center stage. Now both windows become part of the same scene. There is also another useful detail. When multiple windows from the same application are visible on the left side, Stage Manager organizes them into a stack. Think of it as a group of actors waiting on the side of the stage, ready to take center stage when needed. You have two ways to access them. You can click through the stack, cycling through the available windows until the one you need takes center stage. Or, for a more direct approach, click the application's icon next to the stack. This opens a clear list of all available windows, allowing you to choose the exact one you want. Once selected, that window takes center stage, ready to become part of your current scene. And there's one more elegant aspect of Stage Manager. When you create a scene with multiple windows sharing center stage, that composition is preserved. If you need to bring another window into focus, even a third or fourth window, the current scene doesn't disappear. It simply moves together to the side, remaining organized as a single composition. The entire scene waits there, ready to return whenever you need it. This is what gives Stage Manager so much flexibility. You can move between different working contexts without rebuilding each scene from scratch. And here's another elegant detail. Since the windows were never minimized, you can still drag files, text, images, or links between them exactly as you always could. Simply drag the item, pause briefly over a window, and it will come into the spotlight, allowing you to drop it normally. Nothing special happens. You're simply interacting with normal windows that have been organized differently. This is also why I think Stage Manager is so much better than a cluttered desktop. Imagine having 10 or 15 overlapping windows. Every time you need another one, you have to find it, bring it forward, and sometimes search through multiple windows from the same application. Stage Manager solves this visual clutter. It doesn't reduce your desktop's capabilities. It simply makes your current task obvious while keeping everything else one click away. So I'd encourage you to stop thinking about Stage Manager as a window grouping feature, or worse, as a flawed design. Think of it as a way to reduce visual clutter. The stage isn't supposed to be full. It's supposed to show you what matters right now. That's what Stage Manager is really designed to do.